Listen up when it comes to relationships. Words hold a lot of power. We often hear "I love you" being thrown around, but believe it or not, there are other phrases that men deeply appreciate, words that touch their hearts and build stronger emotional connections. These phrases may not always be the most common, but they are incredibly impactful. Let's dive into the 7 phrases men long to hear more than just "I love you." When you're in a relationship, it's easy to overlook the small but powerful things that bind two people together. A simple gesture, an offhand comment, or a quiet act of service. These little things often hold more significance than you might realize. But there's one phrase, one sentiment, that truly has the potential to deepen the connection between partners: appreciation. Men, just like women, thrive on knowing their efforts are valued. However, it's often the words left unspoken, the ones we assume our partner already knows, that have the most profound impact. Imagine this: he's been working hard, putting in the time, energy, and thoughtfulness into the relationship, yet something in the air feels off. He's been doing everything right, but you haven't fully expressed how much you appreciate him. Do you think he's noticing? Do you think he's feeling it? Likely, no matter how much he may act as though it's not needed, deep down, he's craving that recognition. He's looking for the acknowledgement that says, "I see you, and what you do matters." The truth is, appreciation has the unique power to reignite a spark. Think about a time when someone truly acknowledged something you did, whether it was a small, everyday task or a major accomplishment. How did it feel? There's something deeply satisfying about being recognized for your efforts. And it's not just about surface-level compliments. It's about truly seeing someone. Taking the time to notice the little things, the way they show up for you, how they care for you, and the quiet sacrifices they make. These are the moments that should be recognized because they form the foundation of trust and love. When you take the time to express gratitude for his actions, you awaken a new level of connection. It's like you've turned the light on in a room that's been dimly lit for too long. What happens when a man feels truly appreciated? A shift begins to occur. He becomes more engaged, more present, and more attuned to you. This kind of recognition speaks volumes because it shows that you don't just love him for what he does, but for who he is, his essence, his heart, his devotion. Think about how you might feel if he told you that he appreciated everything you do, whether it's cooking dinner, listening attentively when he speaks, or simply being there when he needs support. It would send a rush of warmth through you, wouldn't it? You'd feel seen, heard, and important. And that's exactly what he needs to feel: important. Men, often too proud to express their insecurities, are sometimes craving that recognition more than anything else. It builds confidence, boosts self-worth, and ignites a sense of pride in their role in the relationship. But it's not just about the words themselves. It's about how you say them, the tone, the intention, the depth behind your appreciation. It's easy to throw out a quick thanks after he helps with something, but there's a different level of impact when you genuinely express how much his actions mean to you. When you look into his eyes and say, "I appreciate everything you do," it's as if you're telling him that you're grateful for his very presence in your life. And when he hears that, something shifts inside him. It's as if you've given him the permission to soften, to drop his guard just a little bit more. It's important to understand that men don't just want to be appreciated for the grand gestures. They want to be seen in their vulnerability too. The small things they do, the ones they think go unnoticed, are often the things that hold the most weight. Maybe it's how he ensures you're comfortable after a long day, or how he makes time to listen to your thoughts, no matter how trivial they seem. These actions speak volumes about his dedication to you, and they deserve to be acknowledged. When appreciation is voiced with sincerity, it doesn't just build emotional intimacy, it strengthens the physical bond as well. Men are deeply attuned to energy, to the vibes their partner gives off. When they sense that they are valued, it creates a safe space where they can fully show up for you, emotionally, mentally, and yes, physically. It makes the relationship feel like a true partnership, where both people are contributing, growing, and evolving together. Think of appreciation as a bridge between you and him. It's something that, when expressed, spans the distance between two souls, bringing you closer with every word. It's not just about the acknowledgement of actions, but the acknowledgement of him as a person. So when was the last time you truly expressed your gratitude for his presence, his love, and his constant effort, not just for what he does, but for who he is? The next time you want to remind him of how important he is to you, speak from the heart. Let him know that the little things, the everyday efforts, the quiet gestures all matter. When he hears that his contributions are valued, you will feel the intimacy deepen, the connection strengthen, and the passion reignite. There's a certain kind of magic that happens when trust is present in a relationship. Trust is that invisible thread that ties two people together, even when everything around them seems chaotic. It's the thing that allows you to feel safe when you're vulnerable, and it's the foundation upon which all deeper connections are built. But trust isn't given, it's earned, and once it's established, it becomes an incredibly powerful tool for intimacy. Now, let's pause for a moment. Imagine the most intense moment you've had with someone, the one where it wasn't just about being close physically, but emotionally, mentally, and energetically. Wasn't it trust that made that moment unforgettable? Think about the times you've opened up your heart, shared your deepest fears, your greatest hopes, and felt completely at ease doing so. Trust is the bedrock on which that comfort was built. It's not just about reliability or consistency, it's about the vulnerability to say, I trust you with my heart, and feeling that person hold that trust with care. The power of trust in relationships often gets underestimated. Many people think it's only about whether you can count on someone to be there during tough times or whether they keep their promises. But trust is so much deeper than that. It's about emotional safety. It's about knowing that when you speak, your words will be heard without judgment. When you express your desires, they'll be respected. And when you feel fear, you won't face it alone. This is the kind of trust that leads to emotional closeness and physical intimacy that's truly fulfilling. Think about this. In the early stages of any relationship, we tread carefully. There's hesitation, there's doubt, and there's that unspoken barrier that keeps us from letting go completely. It's not easy to offer our full selves to someone, especially when we've been hurt in the past. But over time, as trust builds, that wall begins to crumble. The more he shows up, the more you open up, and with each layer of vulnerability shared, the connection deepens. When trust is fully present, it creates a safety net, a comfort zone where both people can express their needs, their fantasies, their dreams, and their deepest desires. And here's where it gets interesting. Trust doesn't just make emotional intimacy flourish, it also amplifies physical intimacy. When trust is solid, the desire to connect on a deeper, more sensual level grows naturally. It's almost as if the physical closeness mirrors the emotional closeness you share. Think of how it feels to touch someone when you know they trust you. It's an entirely different experience than when there's doubt or hesitation in the air. There's a certain flow, a certain rhythm, that exists when both people are secure in the fact that they are emotionally safe with each other. This is where the magic happens, when the physical and emotional worlds collide in harmony. Now, let's talk about the deep psychological side of trust. When you trust someone completely, it's like you're giving them access to your innermost thoughts. The barrier of fear fades away. It's like stepping into a world where there's no judgment, no shame, just an open space where you can be yourself. This type of trust transforms a relationship from something transactional to something meaningful. It's not about what you can give or take, it's about what you can create together. And in that space of creation, your connection, both emotional and physical, reaches its peak. But here's the catch. Trust isn't something that just happens overnight. It's a gradual process, like planting a seed and nurturing it to grow. Every small act of vulnerability, every word spoken with honesty, and every gesture that reinforces the idea of safety and support builds that trust. When you're constantly showing up for him when you're there, not just in the good moments but also in the challenging times, you're fostering an environment where trust can flourish. And trust is not one-sided. Just as you're opening your heart, you're also giving him the space to do the same. There's another layer to trust that often goes unnoticed, the unspoken trust. This is the trust you feel even in silence. The kind where you don't need to say much for him to understand what you need or feel. It's the kind of trust that allows you to be comfortable in each other's presence, whether you're talking or simply existing in the same space. It's the trust that makes physical closeness feel like more than just proximity, but an exchange of energy, a quiet understanding of each other's presence. But let's not forget the impact of trusting someone with your body. When you're emotionally vulnerable, you're also opening the door to an entirely new level of connection. The ability to trust someone physically goes hand in hand with emotional trust. It's about knowing that your desires, your needs, and your vulnerabilities will be respected. It's not about the act itself, but the energy and the intentions behind it. When you trust each other at such a deep level, the physical bond becomes an expression of all the emotional work that's been done. It's not just about feeling pleasure, it's about experiencing it with someone who has earned the privilege to be that close to you, to see you at your most authentic, raw, and vulnerable state. Trust is what allows you to let go of all your insecurities and embrace the intimacy that grows from that freedom. It's not a one-time thing, but a continuous process of giving and receiving, of creating a space where both of you feel safe to explore, express, and connect. In that space, physical and emotional intimacy become seamlessly intertwined, creating a bond that's more powerful than anything you could have imagined. There's a certain kind of tension that arises in relationships when both partners are craving more than just the ordinary, the usual, the expected. There's a deep, almost magnetic pull toward each other, yet sometimes it feels like something is missing. The connection feels shallow, like a beautiful song that's stuck on the first few notes, not reaching its crescendo. It's at this moment when something crucial needs to happen, the push beyond comfort zones. We all crave more than just surface-level interactions. There's a hunger inside us, a desire to feel something deeper, something real, and it starts with the art of vulnerability. This is where the real magic happens, in the moments where you let go of everything you've been holding back, the walls you've carefully built around your emotions. When you allow someone to see the raw, unfiltered parts of you, not only are you showing your trust in them, but you're also opening the door to something far more intimate and exciting. It's not easy to be vulnerable, to show your partner the side of you that's unpolished, unguarded, and even a little bit imperfect. But here's the thing, that's exactly what they crave. They want to see you for who you truly are, not just for the version of yourself that you've carefully curated. Let's pause for a moment. Imagine a moment where you're not holding anything back. No pretending, no games, just a real exchange of who you both are. Can you feel the anticipation building? The connection intensifies, the air thickens with the possibility of what could unfold. In these moments, the relationship transcends the ordinary and becomes something electric. That's what vulnerability does. It opens up the space for something deeper, something more passionate, something beyond the mundane. It's easy to assume that vulnerability means exposing your weaknesses, showing your insecurities, but it's more than that. It's about revealing your desires, your fantasies, the things you long for in the quietest corners of your heart. This is where intimacy reaches its full potential. It's not about simply sharing your fears or your worries. It's about revealing your deepest wants, the things that make your heart race, the thoughts that have you feeling a bit exposed. But when you share those things, something shifts. The dynamic between you and your partner changes. It becomes more than just two people coexisting. It becomes an opportunity for transformation. What happens when both partners let their guards down? It's a moment where the energy between them shifts, where everything feels more alive, more intense. The air is charged with possibility. Think about the times when you felt truly seen by someone. When they've looked at you not just with their eyes, but with a deeper understanding. It's like they can see right through to your soul, to your desires, to the things you may have been afraid to admit even to yourself. And when that happens, you feel a surge of emotion, a deep connection that you can't put into words. That's vulnerability at its finest. It opens up a new dimension of the relationship, where both partners can truly understand each other's core. But here's the kicker. Vulnerability is not a one-time thing. It's not about having one heart-to-heart conversation and calling it a day. It's an ongoing process. It's the courage to keep peeling back the layers of yourself and inviting your partner in. Every time you share something new, you invite them to experience another part of who you are. And when they do the same, the connection deepens, the bond becomes stronger. Think about the tension that builds when there's no longer any distance between you. When you stop holding back, when you stop pretending that you're okay with things just the way they are, that's when real intimacy begins to flourish. It's in the moments when you both drop your facades and step into a space where you're both vulnerable, raw, and real with each other. In these moments, the connection becomes undeniable. The desire grows stronger because both of you are offering the most precious parts of yourselves. It's like a slow burn, an anticipation that builds and builds until it's impossible to ignore. And in that space, the desire for each other intensifies. Physical intimacy becomes more than just an exchange. It becomes a manifestation of the emotional connection you've nurtured. It's in those quiet moments, when you're both open and exposed, that the real magic happens. The energy between you changes, becomes something that can't be easily described, only felt. But there's also a subtle power in vulnerability. When you allow someone to see you in your rawest form, there's an energy that shifts, that draws them in. It's not about being weak or fragile. It's about showing strength in your openness. And when your partner sees that, when they witness the courage it takes to be so exposed, they are drawn to you in ways that words can't capture. The rawness, the honesty, it creates a magnetism that's impossible to ignore. As the layers peel away, you both discover new depths within each other. There's a beauty in this process, a sensuality in the way trust and desire grow from a simple act of vulnerability. It's like an unspoken dance, where every step, every moment of exposure, builds upon the last. The connection becomes something that transcends the physical realm and spills over into every interaction you share. It's more than just being close. It's about truly knowing each other in a way that only vulnerability can allow. And when vulnerability is embraced, the relationship evolves. It becomes a space where both of you can fully be yourselves, without fear, without hesitation, and without holding back. The energy between you both shifts, becoming something more than just a partnership. It becomes an experience, a journey where both of you are constantly discovering new facets of each other every time you choose to be vulnerable. And in that vulnerability, both of you find the freedom to love more deeply, to connect more intensely, and to experience something truly extraordinary. There's a certain dance that happens in every relationship, an unspoken rhythm that both partners follow. It begins in the smallest moments and builds gradually until it creates a symphony of attraction. It's the subtle, yet powerful, force of being truly present with one another, and this presence, it's more than just physical proximity. It's the energy you share, the way you can be completely aware of the other person without needing words to fill the silence. There's something magnetic about being in the same space, existing in the same moment, where both of you are fully engaged, not distracted by the outside world. The intensity of this connection has the ability to create something far beyond surface-level interaction. It's the kind of bond that draws people in closer and closer, making it impossible to ignore what's happening between you. And yet, how often do we really show up for one another in that way? In a world full of distractions, the art of truly being there for your partner is often lost. But when you do, when you give them your undivided attention, something shifts. You begin to notice the little details about them, the way their eyes glint when they're excited, the subtle curve of their lips when they smile. These things, these seemingly insignificant details, become more than just observations. They become the foundation of an undeniable attraction. It's when you are fully attuned to each other that the connection becomes electric. It's in the moments of intense focus, when you're listening intently and responding without distractions, that the relationship transforms. This isn't about putting on a show. This isn't about performing for the other person or trying to make them feel good. This is about deepening the connection, about honoring the space between you both. Imagine the moments when you feel as though time itself is suspended. You're not thinking about what comes next. You're not worrying about how you look or what you're going to say. You're simply existing, fully absorbed in the other person's presence. In that space, there's a sense of intimacy that goes beyond words or actions. What makes this kind of connection so powerful? It's the sense that, for that brief moment, nothing else matters. It's the way you feel when the world disappears and all that's left is the connection between you two. When you're able to be fully present, to shed all of your distractions and worries, the emotional bond becomes stronger. Your partner feels seen in a way that's almost intoxicating. There's a deep satisfaction that comes from being understood, from being fully known. And as that bond strengthens, so does the chemistry between you. It becomes something palpable, something that you can't ignore even if you tried, but this requires effort. It requires you to tune out everything that isn't the relationship, to put down the phone, to turn off the television, to stop thinking about the next task on your list. Being fully present in a relationship requires a commitment to creating a space where both of you can truly exist together. It's a gift you give not just to your partner, but to yourself as well. This is where true connection happens, the kind that's effortless, the kind that doesn't require you to try too hard. It's the moments when you are both so absorbed in each other that the outside world fades into the background. This is the kind of chemistry that creates unforgettable experiences. It's in the way a shared glance can send a ripple of anticipation through the air, the way a touch can speak volumes without saying a word. Now, consider the idea of being fully engaged not just in your words and actions, but in your emotions as well. There's an untapped power in connecting on a deeper emotional level, where you are truly in tune with each other's desires, fears, and dreams. Imagine the sensation of not just being physically present with someone, but emotionally invested, the way their thoughts and feelings begin to sync with your own. It's a delicate balance, one that requires trust and vulnerability, but it creates a depth that's rare. This kind of emotional connection isn't easily built, but when it is, it feels like a secret only the two of you share, and it's magnetic. So what happens when you are able to be truly present in your relationship? The dynamic between you shifts. It's not just about the moments of quiet togetherness, but also about how you approach every interaction. When both partners are present with each other, the attraction isn't confined to specific moments or dates. It becomes an ongoing energy, an undercurrent of connection that never fully disappears. This presence makes every conversation more meaningful, every touch more intimate, every kiss more electrifying. It makes the entire relationship feel more alive, more intense, as though the two of you are constantly discovering new depths of each other. The beauty of this presence is that it feeds the desire between you. When you're truly in tune with your partner, it sparks something deeper, a longing to be closer, to know more, to experience more. It's in these moments of connection that the physical chemistry is elevated, the emotional bond becomes unbreakable, and the relationship itself evolves into something greater. When you are both fully engaged in each other, the possibilities are endless because every moment is an opportunity for growth, for discovery, and for deepening that unspoken bond. The presence you bring to the relationship isn't just about showing up. It's about showing up in a way that transforms everything. Imagine this, you're with someone, and there's an unspoken energy that fills the space between you two. You don't need to say a word. You can feel it, that pull, that magnetic attraction that intensifies the moment. The connection isn't just about what you say, but how you make them feel, how you're present in each second, absorbing every glance, every touch, every tiny gesture. This dynamic doesn't just appear overnight. It's nurtured through shared experiences, deep understanding, and a level of attention that most people often overlook. But when you give it, when you bring that level of care, you awaken something primal, something that stirs the deepest corners of your partner's heart. Have you ever found yourself captivated by someone's gaze, almost lost in it? There's a certain kind of depth that comes with looking into each other's eyes, a language of its own that goes far beyond words. You don't need to speak a thing to communicate when you both understand this unspoken language. That electric exchange where every glance has meaning and every touch feels like a confirmation of something far more than what's happening physically, is the very essence of intimacy. It's an awareness of each other's presence, an attunement that draws you both closer, a dance that only the two of you can perform. Now think about the little things that build this. The way you listen, really listen, not just waiting for your turn to speak, but actively engaging in what they're saying, showing them that their words matter to you. When you create a space where your partner feels heard, truly heard, a bond forms that goes beyond anything physical. It's a trust-building act where they can open up to you without fear of judgment. It's in these moments that you create an emotional intimacy so profound that it can transform an ordinary evening into something that lingers long after the night ends. It's the power of making someone feel not just special, but seen in ways that no one else has ever seen them before. That's where real connection begins. But what happens when you introduce the element of shared vulnerability? It's in those moments of quiet honesty when you drop the walls, the facades, and let yourself be raw. The power of sharing something real, something deeply personal, is magnetic. When both of you are willing to let go of the masks you wear, you unlock something extraordinary. Vulnerability isn't about weakness. It's about strength. The strength to trust, to allow your true self to be seen, knowing that your partner will cherish it. And when that happens, intimacy takes on a new meaning. You're not just two people sharing a space. You're two souls sharing a journey, an unspoken connection that's built on understanding, trust, and a desire to be close in ways that go beyond the surface. Now, think about how this trust manifests itself in the moments when you're alone together. It's not about performing for each other or trying to impress. No, It's about letting go of everything else and focusing entirely on each other, letting the physical connection become an extension of that emotional bond. It's in the way the smallest gestures, the softest touch, the subtle lean into each other, carry more weight than the grandest gestures. That's where the intimacy really comes alive, in those quiet moments that only the two of you understand. The feeling of being so in tune with someone that your presence alone becomes enough to ignite something deeply passionate. It's not about what you're doing, it's about how you're being with each other. And then there's the dance of giving and receiving, where both partners take turns nurturing the relationship. It's about more than just giving to the other person. It's about creating a balance where both feel valued, where both know that their desires, needs, and boundaries are respected. The act of giving, without expecting anything in return, creates a space where both partners feel safe to express themselves fully. When that balance exists, the connection between you deepens. Every touch, every shared moment becomes more meaningful because it's rooted in respect, care, and a desire to make the other person feel as though they are everything. The beauty of intimacy, in all its forms, is that it's always evolving. What begins as a spark grows into a flame, and that flame can burn brighter with time, especially when you both nurture it. Every time you let yourself be present, every time you open up a little more, every time you trust a little deeper, the bond strengthens. The secret lies in the willingness to keep showing up for each other, to keep peeling back the layers, to keep discovering new ways to connect. Intimacy isn't static. It grows, it shifts, and it deepens, just as you both evolve as individuals. The beauty is that the more you share, the more you give, the more you create an unbreakable bond that draws you both closer, until you cannot imagine being anywhere else but in each other's presence. And then there's the magic that happens when everything aligns, the physical, the emotional, the mental. When you reach that perfect harmony, it's the sweet spot where everything else falls away, where the connection feels so real, so profound, that it leaves you breathless. These moments are rare, but they are powerful. They are the culmination of everything you've worked toward, everything you've built, and everything you've shared. And when they happen, you realize that it's not just the physical attraction that matters, but the depth of the bond you've created, a bond so deep that it becomes part of your very essence. When you truly understand this dynamic, when you cultivate this level of connection, it changes the way you approach every moment with your partner. It makes every touch, every word, every look carry more weight because it's rooted in something real, something lasting. It's not just about what happens in the moment. It's about the connection you're building for the future, a connection that will continue to grow, continue to thrive, and continue to bring you closer in ways you never thought possible. Imagine a moment when you're lying next to someone, your heart racing, your thoughts scattered, yet everything around you feels so serene. There's no need for words, no need for grand gestures. It's just a shared silence, a connection that lingers long after the day has ended. It's in those quiet moments that something powerful happens. Without any physical touch, the closeness you experience is palpable. You begin to realize that the depth of your bond isn't just about the obvious displays of affection, but the subtle, often unnoticed moments that make up the foundation of something much bigger. Think about it. How often do we allow ourselves to truly surrender to the moment? The kind of surrender where all external worries fade away, and it's just the two of you in sync, your energy blending in perfect harmony. It's easy to get lost in the rush of everyday life, to think that the key to connection lies in dramatic actions or flashy gestures. But in reality, the most profound moments are often the quietest, when you're both present, fully aware of each other's energy, and you feel a connection that transcends any physical touch. There's a special power in knowing how to just be present with someone, to embrace the silence without the pressure to fill it with words or actions. When you become truly comfortable in the stillness, That's when you realize the beauty of the bond you've created. It's in the way you can look at each other without saying a word, and yet the understanding is so deep, so clear, that it's almost as though you're reading each other's minds. These moments create a bond that cannot be broken because it's built on an understanding far beyond surface-level interactions. You're no longer just a couple sharing space. You're two souls intertwined, each of you resonating with the other on a level that doesn't require verbal expression. Now, think about the unspoken words, the glances, the little actions that speak volumes. It's in the touch of a hand that lingers just a moment longer than usual. It's in the way you lean in close without having to say a word, the subtle cues that say, "I'm here with you and I'm present." These simple gestures are like small seeds that, when nurtured, grow into something incredibly powerful. It's not about the big gestures that steal the spotlight. It's about the quiet, intimate moments that build trust and a deeper connection over time. These actions are like invisible threads that tie you together, creating a bond that's felt rather than seen. But what happens when you allow yourself to open up even more, to show the parts of yourself that are typically hidden? When you trust someone enough to let them see you at your most vulnerable, that's when real intimacy starts to flourish. You start to realize that intimacy isn't just about physical closeness. It's about the emotional and mental connection that runs deeper. When you allow your partner to see you for who you truly are, without any masks, without any defenses, you create a space for real connection. You're no longer just sharing a room, you're sharing your essence. This level of vulnerability is what transforms a relationship from ordinary to extraordinary, and it's what builds a foundation for lasting intimacy. And then, there's the magic of anticipation. It's the feeling you get when you're about to spend time with someone, and the excitement bubbles up inside you, not because you're expecting anything specific, but because you're looking forward to being with them, to feeling their presence, to simply experiencing life together. It's not about rushing into things. It's about savoring each moment, letting the anticipation build slowly, almost as if you're in a dance where each step is measured, each movement is deliberate. This is where real attraction begins, when you stop focusing on the immediate and start enjoying the journey that leads you to those deeper, more meaningful connections. There's something deeply magnetic about someone who knows how to embrace the buildup, who understands that the greatest pleasures don't always come from immediate gratification, but from the slow, deliberate process of building anticipation. It's a kind of intimacy that doesn't demand anything but patiently waits for the right moment to reveal itself. In this space, you can truly enjoy the process of getting closer, of understanding each other in new and profound ways. It's in this patient build-up that the true magic happens, the moment where everything comes together and the connection feels so natural, so seamless, that it leaves you breathless, not because of what you've done, but because of the journey you've both taken together. And then, there's the sense of security that comes from knowing that no matter where life takes you, this bond will remain unshakable. It's the confidence that comes from knowing you can weather any storm together, that your connection is strong enough to survive any challenge. The true strength of intimacy lies not in avoiding conflict or hardships, but in how you navigate them together. When you share a relationship built on this level of understanding, you become invincible, not because you are flawless, but because you trust each other enough to face everything head on. This trust forms the bedrock of all intimacy. It's the trust that allows you to be completely yourself, to let go of all pretenses, and simply exist together in a space that is uniquely yours. This unshakable bond doesn't just happen overnight. It's the result of consistently showing up for each other, of putting in the effort to stay connected even during the hardest of times. It's about making the choice day after day to be there for your partner, to nurture the relationship, and to continually invest in the emotional intimacy that you share. And when that effort is mutual, when both partners are committed to creating something lasting, that's when the magic truly happens. It's not just the connection you feel in the moment, but the knowledge that you've built something that will only grow deeper and stronger with time. When you realize that intimacy is more than just physical proximity, you begin to see the real power of emotional and mental closeness. You stop looking for instant gratification and start enjoying the slow, steady process of building a bond that's deeply satisfying on every level. This is the true essence of connection, when every shared moment, every quiet glance, every tender touch becomes a reflection of something deeper, something real. And when you get there, you'll understand that the most meaningful relationships aren't the ones built on fleeting moments of passion, but the ones that are nurtured with patience, understanding, and a deep, unwavering connection.